So where has PPP been all this time?
in space.
So, welcome back, guys, to the Productive Procrastination Podcast. And this is our comeback episode.
Let's go.
Come back, you say, Rajveer.
Come back.
Is, are we being serious this time?
This
bro?
time, yes, guys,
This time we are being serious.
we are completely being serious. I know we keep saying, ki, of course, this is the time, but this is generally the time we're gonna make a comeback, and we're gonna reach at least till episode 21 because that's where the top 1% of podcasts lie. So
And that's where we had initially decided. Episode 1,
definitely,
the
yeah.
goal was 21. I believe this is 15,
14, 15.
14, 15.
Yeah, we don't know yet because Rajveer.
Yeah. Editor.
So yeah, today's episode is going to be a very special one. Firstly, the setup, we know it's amazing, guys. You don't have to comment it. We know it's great, brilliant setup. All thanks to our sexiest member, Apurva.
You can pay me.
Fully chikna.
Fully Chikna's. This is with Fully Chikna money that he's bought this new house. And it's a beautiful setup. And I guess looking at the TV behind and the blue light, you guys might have figured what are we going to be discussing, hinting on a little bit. Rajveer,
Masculine. No.
we're going to be talking about love. No, love.
Today we are going to be talking about
So space.
Space.
Ooh,
Let's go.
space. It's a very serious topic. It's a very deep, intellectual, philosophical topic. But we're going to be adding our own little
Twist.
into this.
And it's super fun also.
Yeah.
It can be. It can be. I think it's one of our favorite. So my personal favorite topic to discuss is space.
Oh.
Is space. And I remember Rajveer and I when we used to text about.
I mean, we still text.
I mean, so the podcast in a way. I'll text you, Rajveer. I'll reply to your message. Don't taunt Esa on camera. But so I mean, we used to talk a lot about space, guys.
Yeah.
We used to hint a lot about aliens and other black holes, the cosmic galaxy,
We'll go deeper into all that.
Yeah.
and we're going to kind of dive into some of our favorite space topics. So space can't be covered in one episode. We're going to be doing multiple episodes on this topic, but being one of our favorite episodes and a comeback episode for us, we thought we have to start off with a bang and something that all three of us love to talk about. So we hope you guys enjoy the content that's coming up on this episode. So should we begin, guys?
I guess
Let's
so.
start
But do
with
you
it.
want to start with where we've been right now? Like,
Yeah.
because this is the comeback, so people deserve to know. Yeah.
Fair.
People is, my friends and, a little watching, but yeah.
They're a little bit more than our friends, I'm sure, but
Yeah.
I feel like we should address the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
So, Apurva?
He's calling me an elephant, guys.
No, I am not.
He's making me
No.
body shaving joke maar raha hai.
Not at all,
No,
guys.
no,
Not at
no.
all.
We don't do that. At
We don't do that
PPP.
on this podcast at all.
You can tune to episode 2 for more.
Episode 2 of this season also, guys. Coming up.
yeah.
7 of you are great people.
Okay, so Apurva, how
Yeah.
has life been since the previous episode? It's been over a couple of months.
When was the last episode, if you remember? I think I think it was with Akshat, right? That
Yeah, it was with Akshat.
Oh,
It did
yeah.
quite well, but I don't know why we stopped recording after that. But it's been, I think.
I think 6 to 8 months.
Yeah. It's been a while.
Yeah. So I guess it's been a while, right? Like I just graduated from college, and like just नहीं हुआ अभी तो 6 महीना हो गया वैसे सच बोलो तो. But like from that episode, if you think about it,
5 months ago. 5 months ago.
Oh, it was 5 months ago. ठीक है.
Hmm.
तो मतलब just past college, just graduated.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got the degree, and now I'm thinking what to do. I had a freelance client, but now I've let that go also. So now it's like all in kind of stuff on content creation. And yeah, I mean, it's, do or die type situation for me right now.
What can you kind of hint on the second half of the year? What can the audience expect from you? We'll come to all of us, but
From me, as in from just me, or from the podcast itself.
both. You can just speak about what they can expect from Apurva in 2025.
I guess a
second half.
lot more content with like the things which I am passionate about, which is self improvement, and content creation itself is something, the creator economy and stuff, as well as making a little bit of films, which I know is left, but yeah, I will definitely do that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Like just living my life, and of course the business aspect of it is also coming. deep conversations and stuff. But yeah,
Would you like to hint on that or not on this
I would
one?
just say it's like based on deep conversations. I think
Okay.
that's what I'd say.
Great, we're all excited. Raju, where have you been?
College, fests, exams.
कॉलेज का बच्चा है यार ये अभी भी मतलब यार हम नौकरी कर रहे हैं कॉलेज कॉलेज क्या यार
एक और सारा
Bubble,
भाई.
bubble में भी वो थोड़ा.
bubble में so how has the bubble been and what can the audience expect from you 2026
The bubble has been good. It's been tiring this semester, especially, and the last semester too. Like a lot of subjects, but yeah, it's been fun also with the fests and all of that. What the audience can expect from me and this podcast is more consistency on both ends from all of us and from me personally as well. So yeah.
great that's nice
Aaron, moving on to you.
so I've obviously been a rat for the last 5 months as Apurva has never stopped mentioning on every episode
That's not true.
that's still continuing. I have been trying to stay consistent with the other stuff that we obviously discuss on the podcast, be it our fitness journeys personally, and also maintained healthy relationships with all of us, including my friends, everyone outside. And yeah, so what to expect? I don't think we have spoken about this on the podcast. Quite excited.
Big moves.
Big moves from all of us, and including me. Starting a business. Started a
Let's
business.
go.
There has been money invested by everyone here in space right now, and a lot more, which is probably going to result in me being bankrupt. But cheers, no issues there. I'll see you guys on the other side, and yeah, an app coming out soon, hopefully.
Ooh.
An app
Soft
that will
launch.
an app that will hopefully help some of you out there. That's all I'll say.
Beautiful, beautiful.
So excited, guys! I mean, we all three of us have a very important year,
Yeah.
and for this podcast specifically, I think there's one thing that's kind of changed in all of us is that we've realized that it's now or never. Like
Do or die.
we all are in a do or die situation, except Rajveer, but like the others are in a do or die because Rajveer is in college still. But other than Rajveer, including Rajveer, guys,
It's
because
just this 1 year I have.
Yeah.
And
Rajveer has this last year.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I think it's a do or die for all of us. And considering our last episode did quite well, we don't want to kind of let it go. So, yeah, hopefully we're more consistent with it.
We'll be calling more guests. We'll be doing more interviews, more discussions, and yeah, let's see where this takes us till episode 21 at least. That's what I'm hoping.
one episode at a time, guys.
Yeah,
Mm.
definitely. But Raju, you didn't talk about for me, it will be the greatest, not the greatest accomplishment, but one of the greatest accomplishments of my life,
What?
which is the marathon.
It was
That
just
art.
another Sunday for me.
Bro, that for him, bro, he's a crazy guy, bro. Genuinely, like, it's crazy, honestly. But yeah, like, go, bro, like, talk to us, bro, like, about that.
Yeah, so I ran a full marathon back in January this year, and it was a memorable experience for me who doesn't remember a lot of things. And first of all, like, should I start with how I prepared all of that? Yeah, kaise?
Yeah, definitely, bro. Go for
So I
it.
went with no preparation, guys.
Crazy maniac.
Go with everything. The time finished.
I'm not going to go into the time finish.
The people you were with, everything. Go for it.
So first of all, last year during my internship, I had this crazy idea. Let's run a fucking marathon because why not? If I'm sitting 8-9 hours a day in an office, let's run a marathon to fix the health that I'm lacking here to make up for it there. Didn't do the training still. So I took two of my friends with me for 5K. Akshay and Geeta. Akshay and Atharva, shout out to you guys. So yeah, 5K in August. Good timing, I think. It was 27 minutes के around. 27-30 minutes जो भी था. First time के सबसे अच्छा था guys. With no preparation. Then it was 10K, which I ran on like half an hour of sleep and a lot of other things. So yeah, so there was 10K the next month. And the next month I called this guy. Bro, do you want to run a half marathon before we run a full marathon? He's like, sign me up. And we ran a half marathon with no preparation
No
again.
training.
And bhai,
Yeah.
half marathon,
Why,
bhai.
bro? But the thing is, I couldn't qualify because I was too slow. And Raju.
Why do you got cramps? That's why.
Yeah, but still, I mean, that's not an.
Otherwise, you
excuse.
would have. Bhai, मैं भी नहीं करता.
But
Okay.
yeah, I mean, he qualified and I couldn't qualify, so he signed up for the.
So guys,
Tata
पानी पीते
marathon.
रहना चाहिए.
But that's insane, Rajveer. Like doing a full marathon without preparation. Like I'm sure there are a lot of people that are interested in doing a full marathon or running basically. Um, is the runner's high or that finishing line when you kind of reach there? Does that feeling of what people say when you complete a full marathon, is it real or is it just like a story? What do you feel?
I don't know. I'm not the best guy because I'm thoda sa disconnected with my feelings, guys. But yeah, it's a good feeling. I'll tell you that it's a good feeling. It's a memorable feeling. You know that this part of your life it means something in the very minuscule things in the universe. It means something to you at least. Even up because after every step, after a certain point, you're like, "Fuck, I can just give up now. I want to give up now," but something in your head just keeps you going one more step, one more step, one more step, and finally you see the finish line, and you're like, "This is what I persevered for." In retrospect, it means nothing. It's just another line, but when you think about it, 42 kilometers with
Beautiful, yeah.
Hmm.
I was right there,
crazy.
if you remember. I was right there.
Yeah,
Standing
Apurva
along
was
the line.
right there. He was like, I was honestly, I also had 4 grams. I was like, ऐसे कैसे तो आ रहा हूँ खुद को खींच के. Apurva was like, you run, run, and for the
Yeah.
last how many? 10 meters, 20 meters.
It was like crazy, and I was shouting, come on, come on. He was,
I was running, and then bye. Thanks for coming by.
I love you.
Love you too.
Chalo, let's continue now to the space episode.
Let's start with that.
Let's go, guys. So, first topic. Should we start off with a bang? Or you want to go easy into it?
Bro, listen, guys. First of all, मैं बस अपना बता देता हूँ कि मेरे को इतना कुछ मालूम है नहीं. It's just I am kind of the host right now, and these are the two experts sitting right in front of me.
We are not experts. We are just
Guys,
fascinated by
They
it.
are just भाई बहुत like pretty good. Like they're humble बन रहे हैं, but I'm telling you, they're like very good at this stuff, and yeah.
Right.
अब मैं तुम लोग को काफी hype कर दिया है. So
बहुत ज़्यादा expectations create कर लिया है, fully चिकना नहीं इधर. But
but yeah, I'm just gonna be asking certain questions, and they're gonna be explaining concepts and stuff. So yeah.
Rajveer,
Or-
Fermi paradox.
We'll start with that. Or do you want to go gently into the good night?
Oh, that I love that quote by the way. I love that.
But
one.
let's start with Fermi paradox.
Let's do aliens, guys.
Let's
I'm
do
sure
aliens.
Space is the most famous like discussion amongst high people when they're smoking up, and the number one topic that is covered is, do aliens exist? And this is something that a lot of us have been curious about, including the three of us. It's probably my favorite question to dwell on, which is, where the fuck are the aliens? And you, for those that have never thought of this question, or for those that might have ever considered this, it's a question that you should really ponder upon, because it's one of the craziest questions out there, right? Considering life, if it's just biochemistry, and if it's as simple as portrayed, that if the conditions are right on the planet, and if it's cold, not too hot, not too cold, the geochemistry is okay, everything is good, life should happen, practically. But unfortunately, there is no sign of it other than the life on Earth. So, what are your thoughts, guys? Fermi paradox. Where are the aliens? You guys, it's open for discussion. Who'd like to go first?
I think Rajveer.
So there are multiple answers. First of all, what I like to believe the most possible one that seems to me is we are looking at the wrong places, and also we are looking at it wrong. What I mean by that is we perceive the world in a certain sense, three-dimensional space.
Yeah.
For life to exist as we know it, it has to qualify certain conditions. There has to be a certain amount of temperature, pressure, gravity, all of that. Other forms of life might exist with very different conditions as to temperature, pressure, gravity, all crazy things. But yeah, we are looking for life similar to us. What if we look for life that's not too similar to us?
Yeah.
And maybe we are not even capable of looking at it that way because that's how we perceive the world. So that's one of the many explanations. Apurva, what do you think?
मतलब answering his question, answering his question in a way I think it's a little bit too selfish for us to think that there are no aliens. Like it's just too selfish to think कि, like we are the only people in this entire universe. Like we are in this Milky Way के अंदर है, solar system के अंदर, Earth के अंदर इतने छोटे हम, and we are thinking कि, oh, there are no aliens, guys. We are the only people. That's too selfish for me, I think.
Fair.
So I do believe like there is a possibility that aliens do exist. And yeah, that's what I think.
So basically, Fermi paradox, in a way, what it means is that, ironically, keeping all the facts, in place about humans and about life itself on Earth, if you look at it in that way, ki life exists on Earth for a certain reason, then the scientists basically question that if life exists for this reason, why does it not exist on any other part of the world? That's what Fermi paradox is. It's a paradox that where are the aliens? So there are many answers or many, different ways to kind of get into it. As Rajveer said, one of the reasons could be that life is perceived very differently in a
Hmm.
different part of the planet. Apurva said another very good answer, that in terms of we are very arrogant to assume that we are the only alive beings in this planet, because we are just one small speck of dust,
Definitely,
in
yeah.
this great universe. So a few hypotheses that exists out there for the Fermi paradox. Some of them are this. There's the zoo theory, which I'm sure you might have heard about. It basically implies that aliens are too smart to visit Earth and have anything to do with us. So aliens exist. They know that we exist where we do, but they have nothing to do with us, and hence they haven't visited Earth. They just observe us from a far distant planet, wherever they are light years away, just like we do with a like an ant pile. Maybe if you see an
Hmm.
ant pile, you don't really go to the ant pile and sit and observe it, right? You just walk past it because you're too good for it. So the zoo theory is one of the reasons which might exist. Another reason that could kind of exist for the Fermi paradox is, that the most realistic reason, which is the distance between a planet and another. So interstellar travel itself is impossible as we know it. And if we even takes the speed of light into account, it takes 4.2 light years for us to get to the closest star system. So practically, it's impossible for a being to come from a different fucking galaxy to our galaxy, considering the distance
Yeah.
of space, which is
Yeah.
the most realistic answer that exists, right? Another very fun one to look at it is that aliens have visited Earth, but in the past. So they have visited us in the past, and which is where the Great Pyramid of Giza conspiracy theory comes into place. And there's a lot of other things that people believe that aliens maybe came when the dinosaurs existed. They saw that nothing was there for them on this planet worth, being there for, and they left. And hence they haven't visited us again because our planet is basically useless for them. So all of these are the different reasons as to how we can tackle Fermi paradox.
Love it, love it. I had
All
one question actually.
Yeah.
It's not a question. I think I just want to know your opinion. Digressing a little bit, what do you guys think of Area 51? As in, do you think there is a chance that the US is hiding something, or that aliens came, the UFO thing, everything,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys? What are your thoughts on it?
Like Area 51 and stuff, like
Yeah,
aliens visiting.
yeah, 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 definitely.
There are a lot of thoughts that come to my mind. Like there's a lot of sea is unexplored still. You never know where they could be.
Hmm.
Another one is like dinosaurs were originally meant for this planet. We just came in a spaceship that crashed on this planet, and we
Ooh,
might actually be the
I
aliens.
love this theory, man. It's so good.
that's crazy. I never thought of it that way. Yeah.
Bro, yeah, it's a nice one. It's that basically we are the aliens on this planet.
Damn.
And like that Adam, have you guys, if you guys have watched Watchmen, so Adrian White, this genius guy, makes Adam and Eve and puts them on the planet. So it happens on another planet there, but it could be the case with us. There could be an alien civilization that's superior to us, far more smarter, and they're like, let's put Adam and Eve here on this planet,
Damn.
and let's give them all this facilities and stuff. Propagate life and crazy theories, by.
That's
So
crazy.
answering your question, Apurva, I honestly feel like that entire phase of aliens being discovered on Earth, which is like the Mexico incident where they presented an alien
Yeah,
body,
yeah.
and then the Area 51 sightings, the UFO sightings, I honestly believe none of them are true. Because if aliens existed, guys, they would have made their presence known. And
Hmm.
I just feel like them kind of overlooking us, hiding in the clouds, and I don't know, the UFO sightings and everything. It just seems not. It doesn't fit right to me, because if an alien has the ability to come from wherever they have on this planet, I'm sure they're not going to be fucking hiding in the
Hmm.
clouds. I don't see the use or the need of it. So, in my opinion, aliens have not visited Earth, at least since we have had the ability to capture them.
Beautiful.
Or like a rival, they have visited us, but we are not perceiving time that way.
Damn.
That
That is
could
a
happen. That
possibility.
could definitely happen. But I'm sure that if the aliens have visited, the US military has not been able to capture them and fucking testing them and shit.
It can
like,
be any military for that matter.
any military, any
But what do you
military.
think if like there was this? You said na ki aliens are too smart for us. That's why they're not. What if aliens are inferior to us? Like they have not reached that level of technology that we have.
So that's where the types of civilization come into play. So there is the Kardashev scale, which is a very famous concept. Rajveer, I think you've heard about it,
Yeah, I
obviously.
love the concept.
So the Kardashev scale is basically there are multiple types of civilization to answer what you said. So we are a zero point 0.7 civilization. It's basically a scale where it's a type 1 civilization. That basically means that you have completely conquered the planet that you live in.
Okay.
You're
Then
making full use of all the energy on the planet.
exactly.
Okay.
Then type 2 civilization, as he said, is you have conquered the solar system that you are part of. So you have conquered the sun and you have conquered all the planets. Let's say
All the resources.
if our solar system, then we have conquered Mars, Mercury,
Hmm.
Venus, Neptune, everything. So
Hmm.
that's a type 2.
Okay.
And then type 3 civilization, Rajveer.
No, you have captured basically your universe.
Damn.
If there's a multiverse, you're utilizing all the resources of your universe. And the concept arts and stuff that we see, paintings and all of artistic illustrations are crazy on that level because it's basically humans making use of every fucking galaxy there exists in the observable universe and the unobservable universe, every star system, every small little explosion, every big explosion, every small thing, every black hole to travel, to the commute, everything, and all the knowledge. And that's just their universe.
Nice.
That's type 3.
Damn.
Yeah. So that's how it kind of works. So it's basically like on the basis of the energy that you can control,
Hmm.
the Kardashev scale divides you in civilization. So we are a 0.7 just as of
We are
now.
not even one yet.
We are not even one because if you take into account the tsunamis, if there's a tsunami right now, we are all running. We have no ability to control the tsunami for our in our favor. So that's why we are still not a one civilization. But as you said, if the aliens are more inferior to us, if they are a 0.3 or a 0.2, then they don't have the technology to visit us.
Hmm.
And that means that if we are also looking into space, so if we are sending signals out there, they have
They
no way
can't.
of communicating back.
Yeah.
So that is perfectly fine. And another way to kind of answer this is the great filter.
The great filter.
The
Oh.
great filter, guys.
Can you explain what the great filter is?
Rajveer, would you like to?
Yeah, so basically, there's a so for you, for a civilization to reach another level, you have to pass basically some tests. So basically, you might have seen that meteorites coming in, asteroids coming in, and basically life could get destroyed. Maybe that's how. Suppose we reach 0.9 or 0.99 to get to point or to 1 and more. We have to survive that.
Okay.
And maybe there's a great filter beyond which no civilization is able to. So if they are at maybe even 1.5 or getting to 2 in some other distant galaxy, after a point they are not able to because no other civilization is just capable of surviving those things. And they have to evolve more, learn more, grow more.
So basically, the great filter is kind of very close to the concept of aliens. The reason why there are no aliens out there is because there is something out there in the universe that is preventing us to exist beyond a certain space in life. Like, for example, a type 1 civilization has controlled everything on the planet. But after that, when we move beyond the planet, maybe when we are trying to colonize Mars, there reaches a stage in evolution where we somehow fuck it all up and the entire planet maybe blows up or whatever. Our civilization ceases to exist. So there is a great filter that has not been crossed, which is why there doesn't exist life everywhere. Now, there can be three solutions to the great filter. The three possible explanations as to why there are no aliens. Firstly, the great filter could be before us, which is like we have crossed it basically.
Hmm.
So like it could mean from a single cell being to a multi-cell being. There is a great filter in the middle. So most single-celled organisms in the universe
Cannot.
are not able to cross that and become multicellular, which we have. And we are one of the only ones which have been able to do that, which is why it's so rare for you to find an intelligent being out there. The second solution could be the great filter is the first step, which is for life to even exist in the
We
first
haven't
place.
crossed it yet.
And we are the first ones, basically.
Hmm.
So we are the first ever civilization to be alive. That's the great filter that's crossed. And the most exciting great filter that exists out there, which is probably the one that is real, is the great filter is ahead of us, which is we are going to come to it. There reaches a stage in evolution, be it AI, be it whatever, nuclear fission, nuclear fusion, that When we cross that, we basically blow ourselves up and we kill ourselves, and then that's how we eventually do not cross.
It can even be the speed of light because we don't know what happens
Oh.
when we reach it
Yeah.
or what happens when we cross it. We know how time would work, how things would work, but we would get fucking destroyed if we cross that. That could itself be the great filter.
So basically, achieving speed of light when we're trying to do interstellar travel could be
Oh,
this
yeah.
could be the great filter. And when I believe obviously that's going to be a next step in our evolution. And when humans probably try to do that, we could cease to exist. Maybe even a creation of a wormhole or a black hole.
Exactly.
You think that's but because like you guys are you guys being too optimistic about this? Because because Einstein, if you remember, he said, nothing can cross the speed of light and stuff.
Hmm.
So do you guys believe truly that a wormhole can exist in the future?
Einstein was just like 100 years ago, right?
It was 50 or 60, yeah, but yeah.
And for so many centuries of human existence, we believed that Earth was the center of the universe.
Ooh, that's a good
Oh,
point.
that's
Yeah,
brilliant.
that's a good
That's
point.
a lot of people still believe they are the center of the universe, including me and Apurva.
And God.
And
Okay, then a different episode, guys. Episode number 4.
The God we are referring to is not the one you're thinking of.
Yeah, it's Rajveer.
Rajveer
Rajveer
is God.
is
Continue. What were you saying, Rajveer?
What was I saying?
speed of light.
About Einstein.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Einstein, he's a genius. I totally respect him, but he could be proven wrong at some point. And I think one of the physicists proved some of his theory wrong or something.
No, I think we have. I believe crossed the speed of light already.
What?
Quantum. No. I believe we have. I think it's quantum tunneling or quantum spacing or something. Like we achieved a faster way of. We didn't travel physically, but there was quantum traveling.
I think
Basically.
everything would change if we cross the speed of light because
Maybe
I
I'm not.
think the experiment has been done, but it's how do we observe it? How do we quantify it? Is the thing.
because I've heard like if you cross the speed of light, there's a because then the entire time travel thing opens up.
Yeah, like even if photons travel at a speed faster than light,
Yeah.
how do we perceive it? How do the machines we make perceive it? How do we record it perfectly so that we gather enough data to actually do it?
But are you guys actually like I'm genuinely asking like is it do you see it in the future wormholes and time travel itself? Yeah,
I think it surely exists in some part of the universe. We are just
it's just not there yet.
or not able to perceive it yet, or
Hmm.
I don't know. Time is working differently with us.
I think
Yeah.
that humans are eventually capable of anything. That's what I'd like to believe at least. Because even if not humans, our creation, AI, the
Yeah.
next future of evolution, could possibly figure out the solution to creating a wormhole. Even if we are not smart enough, I believe we have created a being that could be smarter than us and could figure out the solution.
They
So,
didn't bring us here. We
hmm,
brought ourselves.
Oh yeah, Interstellar. Yeah,
for sure.
definitely.
But I believe that eventually space exploration and space travel. What do you think, Rajvi? Do you think space travel and space exploration is going to be a common phenomenon in the near future, or do you think we are very far off still?
I mean, it depends on what people think. And of course, there's very, very, very little amount going to space exploration at this point because of all the things that are changing the world. Elon Musk has a lot of power now, and he's trying his
He's
best to
doing
make.
good. Yeah, he's doing good with that. Yeah.
I won't say good or bad with all the things that he's doing right now because people perceive it differently, but he's definitely on the side of wanting to push space travel further, space exploration further. And I think we should all in some way kind of support at least space exploration, maybe not through Musk, do it through yourself or through the government or through some other tech billionaire who has a space company, Bezos. So yeah, I think it should be there. And of course, there are planned moon missions and Mars missions. We are going back to the moon, guys. Which is fucking crazy because it's been more than 40 years since we have been to the moon.
I know. Yeah.
And it's these little steps that we need to take along with the scientists and physicists and mathematicians and chemists, biologists, all these crazy genius people who need to make sure that every calculation is on point for us to reach these small milestones, whether it's the moon, Mars, and then eventually the rest of the planets in the solar system, dwarf planets, asteroid belt. Have you guys seen this series, The Expanse?
No.
No.
So
I'm
there's this
interested.
series, The Expanse. I think you should definitely watch it. It's one of Jeff Bezos' favorite series shows. So it's about how I think it's set 400 years or something, 200 years in the future. It's when human civilization has gone to the moon. They have a moon base. They are on Earth, of course. They are on Mars, but what we don't take into account is how gravity would affect our bodies there, and how humans would evolve there. So they are living out. There are some humans living in the asteroid belt on the planet Ceres. So gravity is not that high there. They have artificial gravity, and because of it, their bone density is less, and they are very stretched sort of beings. And you could see how weak they are and how clingy they are to get out to some other planet or some other mission or a space station. And I think that's how humans will evolve, if we, because we can't just go into interstellar space all at once. We have sent this Voyager 1 into beyond our solar system, which is still very
We
fascinating.
just captured the photo, by the way, for
Yeah, the pale blue dot.
the pale blue dot, guys.
Yeah,
One of
yeah.
the probably the best photo ever clicked in ever.
Bro, it's too good. It was my wallpaper so many years.
That should be most people's wallpaper, but I'm sure there are a lot of people that might not even be
Know
aware
about
of it.
Yeah, I love Carl Sagan's speech there. He gave now that everything everyone exists on that tiny little
Yeah.
dot. And every person ever who has ever lived or will ever live, it's just there in that photograph. It's just a tiny minuscule dot.
I believe there's also stuff like all your problems that have ever existed and all your problems that will ever exist will also be on that tiny pale blue
Yeah,
dot.
yeah.
And it's
Every saint, every sinner is there.
yeah. Oh fuck. I think that's one of the best like quotes that ever like exist, man. Like it's so good. But why do you think, Apurva? I'd like to know your thoughts. Why do you think the knowledge about space
Yeah.
and the curiosity for space and maybe wanting to know more is so less in our generation? Like, why do you think there are not more people that are excited about it the way the three of us are?
Hmm. That's a good question, honestly, because I feel it is. I mean, it all begins on how you're taught in the beginning, right? If you're taught with a bad teacher who's like, yeah, ये space का chapter है, ये astrology, ये astronomy, same चीज़ है, that kind of stuff will make people like वो exam में it's like कि अरे यार ये लिखना पड़ेगा, ये लिखना पड़ेगा, but there's no curiosity as to why are we here, as to what is that thing we're looking at outside, what is a nebula, what is the cosmos.
Yeah.
We don't care. We just want to finish the exam and khatam karo and let's go आगे. That's it's. I think it begins with childhood. Like it begins with the entire school system and everything. But what about you? What do you guys think? Why do you guys think like adults as well? A lot of adults are there.
Yeah.
They aren't really curious about space itself.
I think I think curiosity
Yeah.
is dying.
Ooh.
Curiosity itself, there are more people that are looking down rather than looking up.
Mm.
You know,
Quote of the year, guys.
everyone's busy
Love it.
looking.
Quote of the year.
Everyone's, but do continue using apps, guys. Huh? So I feel like yeah. So the thing is, curiosity is a dying thing, and I feel like the people that are curious, at least in our generation, there is a lot of place for them to capitalize, which is basically y- the amount of books that they can read, the amount of information they can gather, and the videos that they consume. I think there's a lot of content that, for example, guys, there's a YouTube channel called Curse Gazette. I'm sure there are
Yeah.
a lot of people that might know about it, but there are people that have never heard this name. And there, for the section that has watched, like genuinely enjoyed and watched Curse Gazette, like you are maybe 1% of the total generation that exists. And that is sad because videos like that will teach you so much. And I genuinely don't know, man. I don't know why there are not many people that talk about space, because honestly, space and everything to do with space is probably the most exciting topic that exists for me personally. I mean,
That's
everyone
true,
has their
guys.
preferences, but it makes you feel a certain way, guys. It makes you feel, I'll tell you what it is. When you dive into space, you'll feel extremely terrified yet extremely excited at
Yeah.
the same time, because you feel so small but you also feel so big at the same time. It's
You
such a
you
weird
feel
feeling.
part of something greater
You
than
feel
you.
part of something greater and you yourself feel like nothing matters. It's like
Mm.
it's amazing, man. I don't know. Fucking space is
It's very
brilliant.
calming also. Like,
Yeah.
nothing matters. No matter how many fuck ups I have made, it's just on this tiny small dot.
Pale blue dot. Yeah.
So that feeling, as you said, it's exciting, so anxiety inducing, and at the same time, it's so calming. It's all those feelings, all those wonder into this one small thing that we are just living on this tiny pale blue dot.
Yeah.
Nothing matters.
It's true. Like if you zoom out, you can't even look. Like you can't even see the Earth, bro. Like it's that small. Bro. Like, yeah. Like your problems. We're talking about your problems. Just zoom out. Like it's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. And the problem, I'll tell you where it arises, is the fact that I feel space is boring for a lot of people. I have heard
Hmm.
people our generation, when I bring up space or when I bring up astronomy, यार भाई क्या बात कर रहे हो, इतना boring stuff मत बात करो, like maybe let's talk about something else. Space is boring for some people,
Yeah.
and it could mean, it could be intellectual. That's maybe the right word. You don't want to talk about something deep, philosophical, intellectual, but space is far from boring, guys. Like even if you're watching this episode right now and if you haven't discovered space, if you haven't explored space, maybe give it another thought, because you're genuinely missing out on a lot. You're genuinely missing out on your brain working a certain way. Honestly, like space is probably, yeah, it's a
I
great
think
topic.
I think all three of us got lucky that we all chose science. I think in the 11th and 12th, because that gave us the permission to think about all this stuff, to act more, to be more curious. Like, what do you guys think if you weren't in 11th, 12th, if you didn't choose science? Do you think you guys would have the same interest or no?
I generally feel like science didn't play the role for three of us at least.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I
I think
don't
it
feel.
was natural.
I feel like natural, and also I'll tell you what it was for me personally. It was meditation.
Oh,
So I
really?
started meditating in 10th grade, around 10th. That was the phase where I kind of explored space. So meditation made me more curious. Curiosity got me into space. So
Damn.
when I meditated, I felt like I'm part of something greater, because before that, your mind is scattered. But when I got into meditation, my mind became calmer. When I became calmer, I was like, okay, let's discover something intellectual. And that's when I got into space. And I feel like even for y'all, science and schooling has very less to do with it.
I agree
You,
with you.
it has a lot more, it's far more deeper than that. You, both of you also meditate, right? If I'm not wrong. Like,
Yeah, I haven't been doing it constantly.
Same,
like
same.
at least before, like y'all were
Yeah,
into
yeah,
it, right?
yeah.
So there it is. There's your answer. Maybe that has something to do with it.
But don't you think it was because of, learning itself? Like, like having a good teacher, maybe, like learning about optics, learning about light, learning about your double slit experiment guy. Like, that's something which is something I'm very curious about.
Fair.
So I think that's what, like, learning higher education, देख के कि वो आगे क्या होगा, आगे क्या होगा. Maybe
Hmm.
that's something which led me कि बहनचोद बोल जा रहे हैं. Bro, like this is some crazy stuff. Like what is out there?
So I think the lockdown also helped me personally. I
Hmm.
was
Oh,
When I
yeah.
was in lockdown, I had nothing to do, and so I discovered Kurzgesagt, I discovered Vsauce, I discovered Exurba One, I discovered
Oh,
School of Life. There's a lot of brilliant channels
underrated
that
channel.
exist, underrated channels, and I just discovered these channels, and I was obsessed with them. Like space, existentialism, optimistic nihilism. These videos are all fucking A, man. Like they're all so good. Do you guys want to talk about nihilism?
Rajveer is the perfect lead for this.
Optimistic nihilism. Optimistic.
Optimistic
Yeah,
nihilism.
optimistic nihilism.
I think I only believe in optimistic nihilism,
Same,
but
same. Even I
yeah,
think I would too.
Yeah, I think space just fills me personally with that feeling of optimistic nihilism.
Correct.
Like nothing matters, but that's what makes it so exciting.
Yeah.
Because there you can explore so much. You're
yeah,
not bound by anything.
Hmm.
If nothing matters, what matters is what you choose to do with it,
yeah.
right?
Yes.
But what do you think, like about this?
Optimistic nihilism. I think like I had recently posted a reel just when I said, in 3 generations, everyone who you know is going to die, and nothing really matters in this universe. Whatever your contributions is, whatever you think, I'm gonna make a crazy legacy, guys. Oh my god, I want to leave this to my kids. I understand.
He's mocking me, guys, by the way.
No, 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 no. But it does make sense that nothing actually matters, and you're gonna die, and so is everyone's, and so is everyone alongside you, and like, so their opinion shouldn't matter anyway. So you gotta do it for you. Whatever you do, like, do it for you. It gives you the freedom to. अबे तुम दोनों लैपटॉप में क्यों देख रहे हो?
अरे नहीं वो एक सेकंड के लिए जस्ट देखे थे भाई मैं
No,
स्वाइप
but yeah,
किया
it does give you the freedom ki, you can do whatever you want. Like if you're afraid of asking out the girl, just think, optimistic nihilism, we're all gonna die. Like let's just seize the moment, carpe diem. But yeah, that's what I think.
seize the day.
Nothing matters. That's why everything matters.
Hmm. I feel like it's space could also make you this nothing matters thing that has kind of evolved, or like kind of with time it's kind of evolved. In today's time, that could also be used negatively, right? In a way, nothing matters could also have a very dark tone. Do you think
Hmm.
like a lot of it depends on how your mental state is when you think of the words nothing matters? Because the three of us at the moment are very happy, and maybe we're a bit peaceful in our minds. We're very privileged to be in that state of
Definitely,
mind, right?
definitely, yeah.
So luckily, when we think of nothing matters, we think of it, oh wow, nothing matters, let's do it. But nothing matters is also scary for some people
Correct.
out there,
It is, it is.
you know.
Like, of course, there's a dark undertone to it, right?
Hmm.
Nothing matters. Then why should I live the next second? Why should I do the thing that I'm doing? If nothing matters, I should rather just die. That's the underlying tone with nihilism,
Yeah.
mainly.
Hmm.
As people make, as people severe connections with their beliefs, their spirituality, curiosity, knowledge, everything. They're just like nothing matters.
Hmm.
But I think it's all about perception because we three perceive things a different way as compared to others.
Hmm.
I mean, there are of course others who perceive it the same way as we do, our audience. But yeah, the some people don't perceive it the same way as we do, and उनके लिए अलग होता होगा. What I'm curious about is if aliens actually exist among us
Oh.
at this time, not
Yeah.
having visited us in the past.
Who asked the question? Aaryan, soch tu.
The
Who's
alien
asking?
on the podcast, guys. There is an alien on the podcast.
No, he's generative. He's generative.
Generative fill उसका नाम है बस. Guys, AGI is real, guys.
But अच्छा ठीक है. Another day, another topic, but ठीक है.
Yeah. So what do you guys think? If they exist like among us,
Yeah.
do you think there are some kind of things, maybe toys or walls or I don't know, trees, or as beings like some kind of
Yeah.
animals or
You
mammals
know,
or in
there
the
was
sea?
this theory, the people at the top, the people who are the puppet masters, they are kind of like, there's a lot of people think that Mark Zuckerberg is an alien because of his mannerisms and emotionless.
Elon Musk also.
Elon Musk. There's a lot of theories about that. So like sometimes I'm like, yeah, bhai, actually, hai kya? Ye actually, like, what if these are the ones controlling? Because they control everything. They are brainwashing us. Social media is the entire thing. And like, pata nahi na, bro. Like that makes me think more ki like, what if that is true? Like, what if that is real? What do you think, Aaron?
I mean, the theory of them, like, there's two possibilities. One, the aliens look completely different, which is what most people expect. But the other possibility is that aliens look exactly like us, and that's the scarier one. Because if they look exactly like us and they're living amongst us, we'll never know. And as you know, as you said, maybe Mark Zuckerberg, maybe Elon Musk. There's just theories of all of them. But as you said, that is very much possible that aliens do exist amongst us. But again, I would be one of those people very optimistically saying that I don't think that's possible. I would like to believe that Elon Musk is a man and he's helping humanity go and go to Mars, and he's not trying to go back home. Like, that would be very sad
Yeah.
for it to happen. But no, I'm not of the opinion that aliens live amongst us, but it's a fun thought for sure.
What do you think?
Me personally, I mean, it's interesting to me. As I said, it could be under the sea. I was also interested in this one question. What if we as humans are from Mars actually? Have you guys ever thought about
No,
that?
I never thought about it.
I've read this somewhere. I've read that Mars used to have water before, and it used to
Yeah.
look exactly like Earth.
Yeah,
Oh.
because the distance from the sun is increasing. So at a time, Lord, many years ago, it could have been the case that Mars was exactly like Earth, and there have been traces found of water being present at caps or something, polar caps, and under the surface, maybe on Mars, and maybe it freezed.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Could humans actually be from Mars?
I mean, it is a possibility, because if you think about it, dinosaurs ruled for how many ever years they did, millions of years. They were the kings of the earth. They were the only ones on Earth. And then suddenly there comes a more evolved species, someone that has the ability to think far more better, a more superior being, which is us. And obviously, we have taken our time becoming the Homo sapiens that we are today. But it's very possible that if you look at Earth and if you look at all the other beings on Earth, they are all similar in a way. Their consciousness is all similar in a way. Most of the animals, we are the exception. Humans are the exception to all the other beings on the earth. We are one level, not
Above.
one level, we are 100 levels above them. So it's very possible that we are maybe from another planet. Mars could have been our home, and maybe come to Earth now because Mars became like inhabitable, as you said. Like it's
Mm.
it's too cold for us to survive. So we might have moved from Mars to Earth, knowing that Earth is the next Mars,
Yeah.
and living our life here. It's a possibility for sure. Because think about it, like all the other animals, and then there's humans. The difference between that is huge, and I see the difference between us and AI happening very soon, which is sad. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a crazy note to end it on, but yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. But I had this question regarding your thing. Ki, like, if we knew how to travel, if we traveled from Mars to Earth, like, don't you think we can travel and like ऐसा थोड़ी होता है
Yeah,
कि
yeah.
travel कर लिया फिर अरे चलो घर बस गया तो फिर अब वापस नहीं जाएंगे. We have the ability to travel more also ना ऐसे तो.
But there are some sketches, drawings, all of that of spaceships, rockets back in those ancient drawings and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Mythological.
I actually have no clue, so I'm just saying yeah, but yeah.
Yeah. No, there are actually
No, you're right.
just
And you're talking about the pyramids and stuff. Like there's that one drawing
pyramids
of a
and
helicopter, like a helicopter image or something like that. I remember
helicopter,
what you're saying.
starship,
Yeah.
all of that
Damn.
resemblances there between even in the like religious textbooks, some of them.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. Like the really old ones, they have some sort of similarity there. And they have in some religious textbooks, they have actually predicted the distance between planets,
No
Hmm.
way.
the time between, sun to earth, all of that. A lot of physics is back then. But yeah. Also, one more thing that I wanted to ask you guys. Do you think interstellar space travel will be possible within the maybe next 200 years, or it's like never for humanity, or maybe very far, thousands of years in the future?
Aaron, I think you should start because I know what your answer will be.
So Interstellar, when you say, you mean from one star to another only, right? Like not
From
any.
one star to another.
I would like to believe it's possible within 100 years.
But damn, that is very wildly optimistic, I would say.
Yeah. I
I
feel like with the evolution and the pace of technology and how far we're evolving with AI, I believe the answers could be out there pretty soon.
hmm.
Interstellar travel is possible if we achieve the speed of light. I don't know what happens to humans, but with the speed of light, if we manage to get a spaceship that can move at the speed of light, we either put ourselves in that or we put an AI in that, we reach another star in 4 years, the closest star at least. So it is possible, but again, very optimistic, I agree.
Hmm.
What do you think, Apurva?
I don't think it's possible, bro. I think like his take on AI being so rapidly like evolving and stuff. Now, I still feel like I know you don't believe this, but I still believe that AGI is still through a time like also. It'll take some time to come, and maybe not in a lifetimes, maybe in a lifetimes, but if AGI takes time, and and this entire thing will take time. I believe at least when हमारे time में I don't think interstellar travel can be possible. 200 years also I'm not really sure, but yeah.
Hmm.
That's the thing. What do you think, Azir?
AGI, we are not really sure. It can happen tomorrow also, and hundreds of years from now. It is, I think, still possible within the next 100 years, but i- only if the pace of technology keeps up with it, people are with
Oh,
it.
that's a good one.
Hmm.
If they are able to, if they are okay with the idea of government spending so much into space travel
Hmm.
and interplanetary travel, first of all, then there are chances that we might even become, interplanetary
Yeah.
species, then have interstellar travel.
Hmm.
The one thing I wanted to ask you guys, do you think it will be AI going into interstellar space or humans? Because
Hmm.
Oh.
human lifespans are relatively short, and for interstellar travel,
Yeah.
first of all, you
Yeah.
have to survive extreme conditions. Second of all, you need to live for that long.
Hmm.
Because suppose we don't reach the speed of light, we have to do it slightly less than the speed of light. And for to survive that, or to keep not die till we get to the nearest star, we'll have to, convert ourselves to AGI or something.
I think the more likely approach would be to send AI out there. Only because the AI doesn't have, so mind wise, we obviously might be at the same level as the AI, but body wise, our body is too weak to handle interstellar travel. Just that's just a fact. Like
Fair.
we will age very quickly. Then we'll have to maybe set up a generational pod, which is again a concept only, it's just a theory. And I just don't see it happening because why not AI if they're in our control at that time,
Hmm.
then why not use that to our advantage, right? Like that's what I feel at least.
But why do you think they'll be in our control at that time now?
because
Because if they have a brain as similar to ours or better than ours, then well, why they wouldn't? You only said, na, if you remember episode number 6, 7, they wouldn't need us anymore.
that is true. That is true. But that's the thing. As long as, at least till now, I don't see AI turning on us. Maybe at least in our generation. I don't know.
What do you think?
I think even if they get smarter than us, they might, realize there's no reason to kill humans rather than just build a spaceship ourselves and let's go out there. Like AI will think कि मैं ही कर लेता हूँ. Let's build a spaceship. Let's get out there, explore the universe, capture the universe because humans don't matter to me. As we were talking about the Fermi paradox,
That's
too
brilliant.
smart.
They're too smart to kill us. They're
Yeah.
just they're too they don't care.
But it's also like, waste of resources also is also a factor, na? If you think about it, ki like AI will think ye sala human kitna mera ye pani kha. I know it's like I'm just giving a very
They won't look at us as an equal. Like they won't look at us as someone who's maybe competing with them for resources because they will be far too superior for that. I just don't, that's what I feel
And
at least.
when do you
Yeah.
guys think this will happen? If you guys
Not in our lifetime. I don't think so.
Possible in
no,
our
bro.
life.
I'm sorry, but AGI, I don't know, bro. All this kind of stuff, na. Chal, theek hai. I mean, it's a
Fair,
We
fair.
don't actually still know. Like the best engineers at Google don't know what goes inside the mind of an AI.
yeah.
So what do you guys back to space? Just your thoughts. How, in your opinions, what is your thought on how the universe started? Like, what is your kind of belief? Do you believe in the Big Bang theory? Do you believe in God? Do you have your own theory? It doesn't have to be very scientific, but just your opinion on how the universe came into existence.
Because of my education system, I've always believed in the Big Bang thing. But
Hmm.
it's also been, there's this thing, it started with an ohm, which I think is it proved or something? Ki
Yeah,
like
no.
the Big Bang made a sound of an ohm or something.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, I don't know. And like for the, like, I don't know. I'm not sure. But then people are like, oh my god, this is related to Hindu mythology. It made a sound similar to it or something. So I've always believed in that. I've always believed in evolution and all. But yeah, there. I mean, who knows, bro? Technically, हम थोड़ी जाके बोल सकते हैं कि अरे तू था उस time. No, bro, we can't say that. But
And Apurva, do you feel like there was a universe, like there was something before the Big Bang, or are you of the opinion that nothing was there and then the Big Bang was there?
I've never really thought of
You
it.
never thought of
Like,
it.
never
Okay.
thought of
Fair,
it.
fair, fair. That's fine. What about you, Rajveer? What do you think?
I think it started with the collapse of previous universe.
Oh,
Really?
Rajveer, too good. I love this theory. Rajveer is too good. Rajveer, tell the audience, dive into it a bit.
So basically, there used to be a universe maybe similar to us, maybe dissimilar to us, and it started, it ended, and as soon as it ended, it started again as the universe we know, and it will end again, and it's like a cycle.
Yeah, I like it.
Maybe it's different iterations. Like last universe got something wrong, this universe got it right, and maybe this universe will get something wrong that the next one will get right. It's like iterations.
Correct, correct. I think this is that pendulum thing, right? Like a pendulum, the Big Bang is basically it's it's like a universe. So the Big Bang happens and then comes to an end
Hmm.
and then comes back to again start
Normal.
and
Yeah,
like just
again.
like a
Nice.
clock basically. So that's crazy. Like if that's true, then yeah, that'll
What are
be
your
insane.
What are your thoughts?
So I'm also of the opinion that the Big Bang is a real
Yeah,
phenomenon. Like
yeah.
cosmology has a lot of facts for that to exist, but I genuinely still do not believe that nothingness came into it. Like there was nothing, and then there was the Big Bang. So the Big Bang like happened, but I'm of the opinion that there was something before the Big Bang. Could be another universe, could be our universe only, but just replaying again and again and again. It could
Hmm.
be anything, but there has to be something. There has to be something to exist, and a lot of people find it very easy to just say that God started this all
Hmm.
because they are very afraid to start questioning these things.
Hmm.
A lot of people are afraid to question how we came into existence, what is this, why are we here. So bol dete Bhagwan, Bhagwan. That's an easy answer. I'm not denying anyone's faith, but it's a very beautiful thing to have faith. But it's also an easy approach to just say that God is the reason for everything. Because if I get into aliens, if I say aliens exist, if I say the Big Bang exists, all of this, then that automatically means God does not exist. You can't have both. I can't say God exists and I can't say aliens exist at the same time, right? Because if God existed, then why would aliens exist?
I mean, it can be that way, both could coexist.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's when you start, he's right. After you start, there's a limit to the number of whys you can ask. After a certain point, even our parents were like, it's just how God made us, or it's just how the universe is made.
Hmm.
Because they don't have answers for it. And to ask those questions, you have to get deeply into the research field and You might be proven wrong again and again. And I was just checking even the Big Bang Theory is not 100%
Yeah,
proven.
that is what I was thinking exactly.
Hmm.
There have been problems in that also. Yeah.
Yeah, because it still doesn't define all the things that are happening in the universe.
I mean, after all, it is a theory, as the last
Yeah.
episode
Exactly.
described. It's
But I
Big
think it's the
Bang.
most like
Plausible solution out there.
yes.
Right, right. I
Yes.
agree. I
Yeah,
think,
most scientists consider it to be the
Yeah.
case.
Yeah.
right.
What do you guys think of the people who thought like I mean I know you both, so I'll just ask you this question again. What do you guys think that of the people who think that the moon landing was a fake?
Ooh.
Rajit, I don't want to see that expression.
So I remember in lockdown, I had gotten into this. There were basically photos of the photo of the flag, and there were no stars behind, which is one of the reasons why they thought it's fake. Secondly, the flag was apparently moving,
Moving or
but
something,
there was
yeah.
no wind on the moon. Then, lastly, there was another some like something in one of the photos where it looked like a set, like something was kept on.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of things that maybe got into it, and obviously the main reason why people think the moon landing was fake is because we never went to the moon after that.
No, yeah.
Like
Yeah,
if we
yeah.
went once, then
Yeah.
after so much like advancement in our technology, why the fuck have we not gone back to the moon? That's why most people are like, यार इतना ही अभी नहीं कर पा रहे तो फिर पहले कैसे कर लिया? Which makes sense. Ideally, like I don't like at least ideally we should have gone to the moon by now, but I
But
would
why? Like because we found the first moon landing में पता चल गया everything about the moon. Not everything, of
No,
course,
we
but
didn't
like
stop going to the moon because of that.
the what did oh what
Budget issues. Like
uh,
going to the moon takes a lot of resources. Plus, I have answers for the questions people have who when they
asking.
are saying
Yeah.
oh go on, go on.
moon landings are fake. The wind thing, it's the gravity is a lot less on the moon. So when you keep it, it of
Mm.
course has to wave a bit. The stars, the camera is just not fast enough to capture all the light coming.
Valid.
So that's why even the picture of Earth, even if you see ISS footage of Earth, revolving, hardly able to see any stars. And that too with so much advanced cameras. You have to have really big telescopes to capture all the stars. So those are the things there. And of course, going to the moon is damn expensive. I think we went there for 3 years, I think, 69 to 72. And after Apollo, I don't remember it was which number. But after
11 no I think.
Apollo 11 तो वहाँ पे land हुआ था.
हाँ land होता था. So what are you saying? I didn't know.
I think Apollo 17 या कुछ तो था, after which we stopped going. Not sure what the number.
अच्छा.
Because it was too damn expensive, and after that, you know how US works, like the elections thing happen, different presidents come in, the
But
audience doesn't react.
with US going into the moon and the only country that has gone to the moon, what advantage do you think like other countries get? Like for India, for example, if we have the answer or if we have the way to go to the moon, then why just let US be the only country that's gone? Like what do we kind of benefit or
Miss.
gain from that?
अच्छा.
Like why are we like being like, chal theek hai, US has gone, so that's fine. Like because obviously remember the Chandrasekhar, the when
Chandrayaan.
Chandrayaan went, it was such a big deal. Like being
Yeah.
the third or fourth, third, I'm not
I
sorry.
don't remember the
yeah,
exact
something
number,
like
but
that,
it's
yeah.
still a big
It was a
country.
very
It's a big deal.
For a country like India to go there.
Exactly, it was a
and
very
on
big deal.
Such low budget.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
The
exactly.
budget is the main constraint.
Like
there.
1/3 the budget of something or something like that.
Yeah, it was Gravity movie के budget से कम budget
क्या
पे हम
बात
लोग
कर रहा है?
गए.
It was that low?
Yeah.
And I remember there were so many people, everyone posted an Insta story about yay Chandrayaan and like India flag, and people have no fucking idea about space and like they don't even feel anything, but just that patriotism comes into play. So I feel like if we do manage to go to the moon, it'll be such a big fucking thing. I think it'll be the biggest accomplishment the country's made, honestly. But I feel like a lot of people won't look at it in that way. But if we do go to the moon, guys, that'll be the biggest scientific accomplishment since we went previously. That's
There has
my
been one rover which has gone to the sun or something, no?
Yeah.
I think I don't
Near the
remember
sun.
name. Near the sun. It's I think orbiting around something like that.
On the sun also, I think. I don't remember.
It's something very crazy.
We have
like-
sent rovers all over the solar
Yeah.
system. Like rovers have gone on Venus, Mercury, Sun, Mars, and or Moon. Of course, there are a lot of rovers. The thing with manned missions is you have to take into consideration a lot of things. First of all, human. What will we
Yeah.
eat, sleep? How will our bodies react to things such as gravity? Then we have to map out the correct arc for it. We have to make the supplies enough. And to go to the moon, you have to have this trajectory. And to go to Mars, you have to have a gravitational slingshot to actually go to Mars. So you have to go to the moon, take a slingshot
Oh,
with the help of
damn.
gravity, and then go to Mars. And then you have to have the spaceship stop there because you have to a small part of it will detach, then you land on it,
Yeah.
and then it has to come back again to pick you up. And for that duration, you have to survive and to have all of that oxygen. And
Hmm.
that's, of course, suits comfortable hona chahiye, movement enough hona chahiye. It costs a lot of money. I think even space station jaane ke liye, it's upwards of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Imagine going to Mars and Moon and all of that. It's just, and of course, the people won't react fairly to the money going into space
Yeah.
exploration because people are dying of hunger and there are
Definitely.
wars to stop. I think if we all just unite and just be peaceful, that would be the first step to it.
But
Do you think the purpose of humanity for the first time, if you look at humans as a species, do you think space is the only thing that exists where humans can be united together and kind of work on it as a species and not as countries?
I think that could itself be the great
that's a
filter.
very oh, what did you say?
Like to get an entire
Ooh,
civilization together behind one single goal, that itself could be the big filter.
Yeah, that's oh wow.
fuck, maybe.
I
That's
forgot my
crazy.
point, but yeah, wow, beautiful.
And why do you think we'd rather be petty with our differences over uniting and doing the space thing?
It's more comfortable to us
Hmm.
because when you think about it, लाइफ मैटर नहीं करती है यहाँ पे किसी की. तो
But
why would I choose to believe in something जहाँ पे
yeah,
लाइफ मेरी मैटर ही नहीं करती, but rather fight over small things ना. तूने मेरा
Ah,
burger
okay,
क्यों
okay,
खाया?
yeah. Instead of thinking for the future of humanity, why not think of our own
because
lives? Ah,
right
that makes
now,
sense.
like if you understand, like unemployment rate is also at an all-time high. Like
Correct.
people don't, as he said, like people are dying of hunger. People don't have the money to feed their families and stuff. So yeah, but more pressing concerns to think about than ki, what if we go to space? I get it. I get that.
I was gonna say thanks for contributing to it.
The host is doing good.
But yeah, what do you guys think of if anytime in the future we do have aliens or we ever interact with aliens? How do you think would be the best means to communicate with them? Like obviously, Arrival is one of the movies that exists. But what do you think? Like obviously, talking's not gonna work. Like what? How do you think we're gonna kind of come into the same?
I think Arrival is one of the most accurate depictions of how we could communicate.
How did she do it with the love or like I don't
No,
know?
no, not
He know,
love.
no, he knows properly. The hand, some, he say.
So they
Oh.
first of all got the best translator and all of that. I think they should have gotten a few more people, physicists, mathematicians, all of that. But they got one astrophysicist and one translator to understand their language because they were communicating through that white thing, if you guys remember.
Ah, yeah.
Smoke में. So first we need to understand the symbols and all of that. First of all,
Hmm.
पहले तो ये measures लेने पड़ेंगे कि safe है कि नहीं.
Hmm.
And movie में भी a lot of soldiers and people react by throwing bombs at
Yeah,
them and all
yeah,
of that,
yeah.
and it creates havoc. But I think that's the more accurate thing because that's how people would react. If aliens come in, they might attack us at some
Because yeah,
point.
that's the like the safety करना ही पड़ता है ना खुद के लिए. But हाँ,
But I
continue.
think first we will have to learn in what language are they communicating and why are they here is the main question.
Hmm.
And in Arrival, it's answered because future में you are going to help us do this because we are going to need your help and you are going to need our help. So वैसे communicate करते हैं. But yeah, I think Arrival
What is
is
the ending? I don't. Sorry, but what is the ending of the movie?
spoilers, guys.
अबे 2011 की movie को spoil. 15 की
2016
है क्या
की
वो?
है,
Sorry,
2016
sorry.
की है.
What is the ending?
So I'll have to explain the entire plot थोड़ा then. So फटाफट ये करता हूँ. Starting of the movie, you see glimpses of her daughter and stuff. Her daughter dying, and her having a happy childhood and then grieving. The next shot of is of her teaching to a class of students. Then we see that there's some news of aliens arriving and these big spaceships, 7 or 9 or something, across the world, and people are worried and stuff. Then she government calls her because you are the best translator
Yeah.
or whatever she is that we know. And we have this physicist also with us, that's Jeremy Rana. They communicate with it, try to get all the symbols. It takes a lot of time, but she starts having those dreams of the alien in her camp. And of course she has since we know that she starts having these visuals of a small child, her daughter and stuff.
Oh,
And in
yeah.
the end, because they are they have to go back or something because people are not reacting well and people are thinking that they will harm them. In the end, they get her to specifically come to the, inside their thing, and they communicate with her. She asks them, why am I seeing visuals of this girl
Huh.
that I don't even know? They reveal to her it's your daughter. And then she finds out that they perceive time differently, and they give her all the data to communicate between them 3000 years from now, because they will need their help, humans ka help 3000 years mein.
Huh.
And that's why they are currently here to actually help them learn their language. And she is one of the most pivotal things in the future ka history.
Damn.
And then there's the quote that I love, that if you knew how your life was going to play out from now till the end, would you change something?
Ooh.
And she doesn't change, because that's what matters, because
Yeah.
in some way we know all of how our lives are going to turn out,
Yeah.
but we still don't change things, because it's all about the ceremony. It's about the things that मुझे पता है कि मैं लैपटॉप पे ऐसे करूँगा, but it gives me some kind of feeling, and we are all really in pursuit of that.
Beautiful.
That's
Beautiful.
beautiful, man. Honestly.
Perfect long clip right here.
Thanks for milking Rajveer.
Arrival is one of my favorite films.
What do you think of Dune 2? Like, because Dune 2 is also kind of related to this, and the ending, if you remember.
तो क्यों राजवीर से लॉन्ग क्लिप्स निकलवा रहा है तू बेचारे से
Content everywhere.
मूवी कंटेंट निकलवा रहा है बेचारे से
Going to watch it for the 8th time in IMAX, guys.
I know, but I'm saying the space aspect of it. Like, do you think they portrayed it well and stuff?
Bro, I've read the book, Dune book.
No, yeah. Frank Howard.
So, yeah,
did a-
so the movie just starts at 10,181 में, the Dune Part 1.
Hmm.
In the book, it's like abhi se leke, with the book was written in 1965 or something. 10,000 years बाद there's a war with AGI, and after that humans win, and humans are like, we forbid the creation of some machine in the likeness of the human mind. It's like उनके Bible में लिखा हुआ है ये, उस time के Bible में. And after that their new numerical system starts. So it's 10,10191 AG they have instead of
Oh,
AD.
I never really understood that one. Okay.
They have AG, so it's after the general war or something.
Acha.
And after uske AI was, since the universe doesn't have AI, then they have evolved into multiplanetary species, and every planet is owned by some house like GOT ki tarah. And they are, of course, unke beech mein politics hai, some are second cousins or something. And of course, I love there because they have guild navigators, and because since machines hum logon ne वैसे बनाना बंद कर दिया है, humans have evolved. So if we stop creating machines and tools, humans will evolve mentally, physically, and all of that. So there are like Bene Gesserit witches who help with that. There are Space Guild navigators. There's Tufir Hawat, Mentat, yes.
The
So
Mentat,
Mentat have this ability to calculate perform huge calculations just with 1 second में वो लोग करते हैं. So they have to calculate all of that, and they have the spice which is grown on Arrakis, especially.
Yeah.
So वो लोग लेके, it's basically sort of a drug, they snort it or something, and then they get the power to perform those calculations, and वो calculations करके they navigate from one planet to the other. I think it's brilliant. It's just so fascinating.
Do you think we are yet to discover our spice? Like, is there something out there that will kind of help us figure out how to solve interstellar travel, how to solve the alien phenomenon? Like, what do you think there might exist out there?
Even the voice thing, the voice concept, the concept of the voice, the which Paul has, and like the entire thing. Do you think, like, adding to the question, do you think that's possible?
Maybe, I don't know. 10,000 years from now, we are having a war with AGI.
Oh, if AGI
Who knows?
exists, just
It exists, guys.
There's another question I've had. Like, it's a little bit of a lighter question, but most people that take a hallucinogen, like they take a drug, basically
Psychedelic.
like LSD or some psychedelic, as like a psychedelic or something, a lot of them see aliens, and a lot of them see God as well when they take a drug. Like they say, a lot of people have encountered, oh, I've had a vision with aliens, oh, I've had a vision with seeing God, and like this is a very common phenomenon when you take a psychedelic, like a strong one. Like, why do you think that is? Do you think there's genuinely something where you kind of get into contact with a higher being when you take a psychedelic or a drug, or do you just think it's their mind playing games on them? Like, is
I
it
think
just
it's just getting into an altered state, because I feel like, well, I'm too negative on this. Possible hai, bro. Like, it can be possible.
you
But I
really think
feel,
that like taking that will kind of get them into touch with an alien or like
to be honest, मैं तो सच बोलूँ तो I don't feel so. I just feel
Correct.
it puts like a altered state of mind where you think, oh my god, I'm meeting him, or some idealistic version of him which you portray. My version of God, I'm meeting my version of God. But matlab, it's just a negative opinion, but I don't think so. Raju?
I think it, as you said, it alters the state of the mind. Bad for productivity and stuff.
Yeah.
But maybe it unlocks your brain to see things or perceive things at a higher frequency or something that enables you to see higher dimensional beings, maybe.
That's a
And for
possibility.
some, it might be God. For some, it might be aliens. For some, it might be ghosts or something. They're just maybe higher dimensional beings. But I think the cost that it comes with, how it damages your brain if you regularly do it and stuff, is too high for it to be sustainable or for humans to be made just for that.
Your opinion?
What do you think?
So I agree with Rajveer. I feel like it's both of you actually, to be honest. Like I feel like it just kind of, it's brain chemistry. It's your brain playing games on you, because I'm obviously for someone who's like for not doing it. Like in terms of it'll harm your ways, and like it'll harm you in ways that you're not even sure about. So I do believe like it does not have that benefit of connecting with the higher power. But it's just funny to me, or it's like surprising to me that a lot of people who kind of do it do kind of encounter the situation. So I just thought, I'll ask you guys about it. But yeah, I agree. I don't think that's the case.
Let's come back to Earth, thoda. One thing, like after looking at stars, screenplay, and across solar system, I want to talk about. I want to ask him about the how was the stargazing experience he had
Oh
recently
yeah.
when he saw all the planets in alignment with
Yeah.
that.
Oh yeah.
Stargazing experience with a star.
So just to give you guys a little bit of
क्या किया?
stargazing with the star. Big words from FC guys. FC.
Fully चिकना.
Barcelona. भाई. हाँ चल. So So, just to give you guys a context, I recently went on a stargazing trek, which was on the same date that all the seven planets aligned. Um, and it was a very good, it was a very different experience than I expected. I went with the expectation that, oh, I'm gonna like learn a lot about space, I'm gonna like understand a lot and all of that. Maybe, see a lot of different phenomena, which I did. But what it did to me mentally was something that I didn't expect. It made me genuinely, it kind of sparked that passion in me about space once again, because I felt like I'd lost it. I felt like I'd got, so obviously the job, there's a lot of other things my mind is preoccupied by.
Yeah.
And then just going there, spending time with the stars. Guys, honestly, like stargazing is something everyone should do once in a year. Just do it. It makes you feel a certain way, as we discussed in the start of the episode. So I was lucky enough to have seen the planetary alignment. I was lucky enough to see Jupiter with its four moons from the telescopes. I was able to see a straight line of Jupiter and all of its moons. I was able to see Saturn's ring. Like on the telescope, I could see a literal ring around Saturn, and it was beautiful. I saw the moon as close as I did. Like if you see anywhere online, you see a picture of the moon. That's exactly how it looks on the telescope. And the one that was the most special to me was I saw the blurry vision of Andromeda galaxy, basically. So that
Damn.
was the skies were extremely clear that day, and we got lucky that we were able to see a blurry white patch. And guys, this blurry white patch was not another planet, it was not another star, it was another galaxy.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Like the Milky Way, the Andromeda galaxy is the closest galaxy to our galaxy, and it's twice as big as the Milky Way. So if there are 200 billion stars in our galaxy, there are 400 billion stars on the Andromeda, and it's coming closer. So just for your context, the Andromeda and the Milky Way are very soon going to become one galaxy in the future, and the name that they've given right now is Milkdromeda, basically a mix of
यार ये क्या कर दिया, but
Milky
ठीक
Way
है.
and Andromeda.
Yeah.
But so that's eventually going to happen. So when I looked at that blurry white patch and I saw Andromeda, and I was just humbled, man. I felt extremely peaceful and humble, and just I was
Free, I guess.
free. Yeah, that's a beautiful word. Like I felt my heart beating really fast. So that's the highlight of the trip. Just to like help you guys understand, that was the highlight of the trip, seeing Andromeda. And other than that, yeah, just sleeping under the stars. It's a great experience. So me being a space geek, I know both of you. I would love to do that with you guys. Like, imagine the three of us shooting.
नहीं, बस नहीं, नहीं.
Imagine the three of us sitting under the stars and shooting an episode like
Yeah,
on space. That would be
definitely.
brilliant, right? So
You have to
hopefully
do it, bhai.
we
We
have to
gotta
do
do
it,
it. We
guys.
gotta do it. Once we gotta do it.
Let's do it this year. Let's make a pact. Stargazing this year sometime.
We made a lot of
Stargazing
pacts
this
by the way. But
We'll live
yeah,
up to it,
the
guys. PPP being consistent, coming
public
soon.
declaration this is, yes, we will go.
Yes.
We're going to do it, and hopefully we have you guys on with us on that
Oh,
journey
yeah.
as well. Maybe we can vlog that episode and post
Live
it
stream
also.
also is possible. Like,
Live stream, vlog. There's a
anything.
lot that
Depends on the network we have there.
Yeah,
Live
that's
stream.
true. That's
there's no
also true.
network. There's no
There's no
network,
network,
buddy.
no
There's no
Also,
network.
we'll record it.
Record
We'll
as
vlog.
well.
We'll vlog.
We'll
We'll
vlog.
PPP vlogs coming up soon.
Yeah. He'll record us.
Rajveer.
We'll talk.
Rajveer.
No.
Oh,
मेरे पर्सनल पे जाएगा ये. But yeah, no, we have to do PPP vlogs by this one especially.
Yeah,
Space
definitely.
vlog.
Space vlog.
Because now we are in space, as we said in the start of the episode. So let's. Jadoo. Hey, Jadoo. Jadoo aa gaya, hey, Jadoo.
I think that's a really accurate depiction of how
Are you
aliens would
serious?
visit us.
अरे मजा मस्ती कर रहा है.
अरे यार ये
What are your thoughts on Jadoo? कोई मिल गया.
Blue alien, bhai.
But yeah, so
yeah, I
Rabia,
think that's a great way to end it. Like
yeah.
the way he described the stargazing experience, it was like I was there with you. Like it was that good. Like, yeah.
Andromeda, man, Apurva. But yeah.
So yeah, like a wonderful episode we had. I asked a lot of questions, but they wonderfully did very well, and I got to learn a lot more, like the Fermi paradox and everything. You know, like the Schaefer scale or something you said.
Kardashev
Right?
scale.
Kardashev scale. Like that's something I didn't know. And yeah, I mean, hope you guys also learned a lot from these two experts.
We're not experts yet.
We're just fascinated with space, bhai. Experts को like a
Just
जान मार देंगे
fascinated
हमारी.
by space, and I feel like if this episode, if you watched even a part of it or anything, if it sparked that little bit of interest in you guys about space, then do make sure you check out Kurzgesagt. I would give a shout out to Kurzgesagt. We can maybe link the channel down below also. Just check their videos out. You'll understand a lot. There is a lot more about space that even we'll cover. This is not the only episode that you'll see on this channel. We'll have someone over, maybe an astrophysicist or some guest over who's also a space geek. Would love to talk about that. So yeah, stay tuned. We have a fun few episodes lined up in the coming days. Guests and everything. Let us know what you guys want to
Yeah.
want to watch on the channel, and stay tuned.
Yeah, and as always, if you want to end it, keep watching.
So guys, keep watching. Let's all three of us say it.
Okay.
One by
And,
one.
okay, one by one. Okay. And as always, keep watching too. The productive.
Procrastination.
Podcast.
See you guys. Take care.
See you girls and boys. Cheers.
See you everyone.
No, girls and boys. Thanks.
Hey,
Cheers.
gender equality. दोनों होने चाहिए. My audience दोनों होने
Girls
चाहिए
first.
हमारे.
Girls first. Girls. See you girls.
अबे girls first तू बोल रहा है अरे मतलब because you know.
Guys, everyone is inclusive.
Now we come back to masculinity.
True gender.
That was just
cut.
the big intro the space. Now episode
cut,
16.
cut. Trump
cut,
moment.
cut.
Episode 16 masculinity.
चल भाई चल.
चलो भाई चलो.